Morning, you guys. Sean here, Dennis's Music. That's what's on the bench. Kind of wanted to share that with you because of the funk factor being pretty high on this one. We got, what is that, like Kia Soul Green with, obligatory red humbucker. Yeah. So I just kind of wanted to show you what was currently on the bench. Finished up a Kramer, a Gibson era Kramer. But hey, still got the cool block logo. And an almost hockey stick headstock. But not a bad little guitar. And today we have the Ampeg stud. Some stud is gonna be the happy owner of this when I'm done with it. It's got a little problem at the headstock. Not sure if you can see that. Took a little bit of an impact. Bench is a mess. And then of course the showroom. Looking good today. Back later. Okay. What time is it? About 1 o'clock. Had a nice gentleman and total gear nut come in, and he was nice enough to sell me a PRS SE 245. So just kind of wanted to share that real quick. That's what's on the bench. And it doesn't look like I really need to do much to it. This guy was just talking to him, I could tell he's the type that probably takes meticulous care of everything he's got, especially his gear. But I think he just bought this as kind of a little side practice thing or something. Sounds like he's got a pretty sizable collection. Yeah, so hey man, I think these things are okay. We worked out a deal, and that's how we get into some of our used guitars, so we can offer good deals to people that that might be looking for this kind of thing. I like it. This is it's a respectable little instrument for sure. All right, I'll go back to work now. Bye. Check this out. I don't know, man. This is kind of a weird bird. Thinking like a maybe late 90s era PV product. The Accelerator. It's a nice guitar. It's pretty serious, man. I mean, the electronics are all solid. I had the plate off yesterday when I was getting it all doctored up, and pretty hardy. Nice, kind of pro level. Kind of a cool PV Floyd. These are kind of overlooked, PV, especially during this era, they were putting out some world-class stuff. I thought some of the stuff was just great, man. You see the split in the neck? That's awesome. Neck is dynamite straight. So yeah, we got one of these in used. Just needed a little cleanup and set up, the usual stuff. But man, it's like a delight to play. It's just very cool. Just wanted to share that real quick. This is not something, I don't see these very often, if at all. So yeah, shout out to the PV Accelerator. It's a 1978 Standard, made about an hour and a half west of here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, in an era that a lot of Gibson fanatics would refer to as like a very strange and unusual era for them. But hey, whatever, I celebrate it across the board. This thing is cool. I haven't really processed and set it up yet. It's just in for service. It's not the store's or mine, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm into this guitar, man. This is, I'm starting to kind of develop a little bit of a thing for it. I've been playing it a little bit, and I'll probably start the work on it today. And yeah, I'm not even a really big Les Paul guy, but this thing sort of speaks to me in a strange roundabout way. Oh yeah, I gotta show you this. Oh yeah, natural relicing. We got the state of Florida. Looks like naturally worn by just straight rockin'. It smells like some major cigarettes and what have you, so I'm sure it's seen a lot of clubs, and who knows, looks like there was a sticker or some kind of fade going on there. Kind of cool in a way. I mean, you know, if you like that kind of thing. Look at the loot on that thing, boy. No broken headstocks here. So I don't know, call it a weird era if you want. I think it's pretty legit. My first thing would be to remove that pick guard because it's getting away at all that pretty finish. But that's just me. A lot of people don't really agree with that. So this, if my knowledge of the serialization work is correct, this was made on the 44th day of 1978, and I came out on the 20th day on 1978. So I guess I'm 14, 21, about 3.5 weeks older than this. That's kind of cool, sort of. A lot of things happened in 78. Van Halen 1, me, and this Les Paul, for example. Just wanted to share that with you guys. I know I'm sure a lot of you out there dig a cool Les Paul, or maybe something that's kind of ratted up like this one. Naturally reliced. What is that? Organic relicing? Pretty cool. Here's one for you. A Giannini. I think this is an AWS 710. And obviously this is a real basket case. It's in pretty rough shape. But the Giannini brand is one you don't see very often. And it's got a real fatal flaw here. So let's see if we can bring this thing back. It's going to take some doing. But I was just getting ready to start kind of getting it prepped. Just the prep work alone is a pretty dirty job, let alone the work. But I was noticing, I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but there is some really nice rosewood happening in there, and that's something you're not going to see very often as time goes by. And that rosewood has been a lot of controversy with rosewood, and it's basically a thing of the past as far as using it for manufacturing, at least in this industry. So this I think this is worth the effort of saving. Hopefully that's just wood glue. I think it is. And I did notice that, you know, underneath all this disaster, that it still has a lot of potential. I don't see any sinking. The bridge isn't pulling up. Neck seems to be relatively straight. So let's see what we can do with this. I'll have to do an after comparison when the work is done. Okay, back to work. Alright, just kind of a quick side note I wanted to share. Today's guitar day. This is a Epiphone SG, which are pretty cool. They're kind of legit. And this came in used, I don't know, probably over a week ago. It's been hanging for a minute. But it had been repaired. I don't know if you can see that. Customer said that they had it repaired at Guitar Center. And if it was the tech that I know that, well, I don't know him very well, but I'm acquainted with the tech that works over there, sort of their main guy. He does good work, man. He builds basses, and he's pretty well known around here for his stuff. So I don't know. Looks like it got fixed up. I mean, you know, there's a little bit left there. You can see that I don't know what the break was like initially, but you know, it looked solid, so I made him an offer and picked it up, and it cleaned up and set up nice. It's a good playing guitar. It feels pretty good. I don't think this break is ever going to be a problem again. It was fixed. Good enough for rock and roll, as they say. And I'm going to check the electronics. I'm sure they're fine, but I'm just kind of in the kind of the last steps before I put it out for sale. I just maybe do a little detailing, get it a little shinier. Frets are good, neck's good, all that good stuff. So hey, sometimes, you know, we get them in here, they might be a little rough around the edges, but we always kind of go through them, and I'll always stand behind all the used stuff that we sell here at Dennis's Music in Saline, Michigan. So I just figured I'd share it. Pretty cool. Good player. It'll be nice and cheap for somebody. Somebody will enjoy that. All right.